Kallang View is one of the latest BTO projects in the Kallang Whampoa area. Initially, I thought this project would be classified as a prime project because of its location, but HDB ended up categorizing this project as a plus project. Having said that, actually the difference between a prime and a plus project is not that much. Both are still subjected to a 10-year MOP, cannot rent out the whole unit even after MOP, income ceiling for the future buyers, cannot sell to PR couples, etc. The minor difference is just the subsidy recovery rate, as Kallang View is subjected to 8% subsidy clawback and Crawford Heights is subjected to a 9% subsidy recovery as a prime project. Now let's talk about pricing. You can see the price range here excludes grants, and I have also added the price after the grant. To help you assess whether these BTO prices are reasonable or not, I have also added the transacted prices of nearby resale flats of similar types. Feel free to pause the video if you want to see the numbers in detail. If we compare the price with nearby resale flat transactions, for 4-room flat, the price gap between the highest BTO price versus the highest resale flat in the same area is quite significant, slightly more than $500,000. So, the percentage of the price gap is also relatively big. For example, for a 4-room flat, the gap is 72%, so you have a very healthy margin despite of the 8% subsidy recovery. If we look at the 3-room flat, it is also the same pattern. Price gap against nearby resale flat is more than $300,000 or around 65%. It's not exactly estimated gross profit because this is the price of today's resale flat and not the future price after MOP. But assuming the housing price in Singapore will continue to increase, this will give you a rough idea of the potential profitability of this project. Given the price gap, actually I think the launch price for Kallang View is pretty decent, as you can still potentially make a very good profit. Even against other projects in this batch, on paper, Kallang View has one of the highest profit potential. My theory is that the starting price is slightly lower because it is a little bit far from the MRT station and you would need to take a bus to go there. The waiting time will be 48 months, which is not the fastest but not the slowest either. Now, let's talk about the location. Located on the Upper Boon Keng Road near the Pelton Canal, this land plot looks very residential with older HDB surrounding it. Across the street, you can see some low-rise industrial warehouses, which means that there are pockets where the view is unblocked even for mid-floor flats. Note that I don't see many options for shopping or eating, so it seems like the amenities around this area are limited. Please comment down below if you live in this area and confirm whether that's true or not. The nearest MRT station is Geylang Bahru, but it's not really within walking distance and you would need to take a feeder bus. Interestingly, this project only offers 3-room and 4-room flats, but no 2-room flexi like in most plus and prime BTO projects. So, this indicates that this project is targeted towards families, but if it is targeted at families, the issue is there's not a lot of school options nearby. And that's one of the key downsides of this project. There are Bendemeer primary and secondary schools, but it is not within walking distance. From the map, I don't really see any other nearby schools even after zooming out. I would also like to point out that there's an existing funeral parlor across the canal. Personally, I don't have any problem with it, but I'm just pointing it out in case it's relevant to you. Now let's look at the site plan. Because there are many buildings surrounding the plot, you have to be on a high floor if you want an unblocked view. Stack 2356 and 2354 will overlook the playground and school towards the neighboring HDB blocks, while stack 2366 will overlook the roof garden on the top of the multi-story car park. There's also an expressway nearby, but the architect already tried to put some distance by placing the car park and some facilities, so hopefully it's not too noisy for the housing units. It's also worth noting that almost all units have north-south orientation. For inwards facing stacks, they are at a good distance from one another and there's only one stack facing the car park. In this project, 4 units are sharing 2 lifts, so this is a very good proportion compared to other projects. There's also a sheltered linkway to the bus stop and neighboring HDB cluster. There will be a preschool and a cafe within the cluster, so this is also convenient for the residents. Okay, let's do a quick recap. What I like about this project is that the location is a short bus ride away if you work in the CBD area. Judging from the statistics, this project also has an amazing profit potential, even better than Crawford Heights. There should also be a consistent high demand regardless whether you want to sell the flat or rent out the rooms. Now, let's talk about what are the things that I don't really like about this project. The first downside is, obviously, it comes with plus HDB restrictions, which means it will come with very strict restrictions such as 10-year MOP, subsidy clawback upon resale, and the inability to rent out the whole flat even after MOP, etc. Your future potential buyers are also greatly reduced because there is an income ceiling for the future resale flat buyers, and PR couples also cannot buy because there has to be at least one Singaporean buyer, etc. I also don't like that it is not within walking distance to any MRT station and you'll have to take a feeder bus. The site is also facing an expressway, which can be dusty and noisy, so hopefully you'll get a good queue number that allows you to pick a flat that does not face the expressway. Another downside, well, for parents, there are no schools nearby. There are Bendemeer primary and secondary schools, but they are not within walking distance. From the map, I don't really see other nearby schools even after I zoom out. The flat type offered in this project is also limited because it only has 3-room and 4-room flats, but there are no 2-room flexi or 5-room flat here. If you want to know more insight about other projects, check out my other videos in this channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye!